Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Life of Wonders. Welcome back to my channel. This is Poto, and today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the new Disney designer collection, Princess Ariel. And the reason I continue with Ariel and not with Pocahontas and Mulan, it's because I just received her, and I couldn't be so grateful. She's been the last one, the last released, so I thought I would proceed doing Ariel, reviewing Ariel and unboxing her, and then I will catch up with Pocahontas and Mulan. Um, but yeah, now that we are into her, oh my goodness, this release has been quite possibly, if every single one has produced controversy, but this one in particular, there has been a lot of hate and um, misunderstanding, I guess. I really don't know. A lot of like really harsh opinions on her of people that really love Ariel, and they weren't happy with the final product, the final doll that we get here, because it's nothing we've ever seen before. It's not inspired by the actual film as such. It has like a very particular inspiration by the designer that at the end of the day is actually much more artistic than a rendition of what we associate with the film, which I love. I like, personally, I love that, and I really don't mind that it is not associated with anything she wears in the film or anything like that. I really, not only I don't mind, but I actually appreciate that we are given a whole new take on this princess like we've never seen before, because again, there are so many dolls. I mean, if we were expecting her to wear like the tight mermaid shape dress that she wears at the end of the movie when she's coming out of the water, I think I would have been disappointed in a way, because that is just something so easily fixable, I mean, and done. Any other like 90s gown could do with any Ariel dolls, so I wouldn't expect them to release something like that and then charge us the price of this like designer collection when there has not been like a truly inspiration behind that feels really artistic. And I will give you my thoughts and feelings and opinions and everything while we'll go through the door. Just wanted to let you know about these. I love the boxes as well. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed as with as like many other people is that as for now they have not corrected the part in which there's the outer plastic, protective plastic here, and so the inner packaging, so it has to be closed, and then when you open it and take out the inner packaging, it's still not protected, but again, very easily fixable as well with a little bit of acetate plastic on top. Now, I want to mention something else. With this though, it came the catastrophe of its release in other parts of the world that are not in the US. For whatever reason, this doll was not released at the same time. Even though all the other dolls were released exactly the same, it reminded me of the Castle Collection thing. I really don't get it. I guess that there are like statistics things, and probably they are just trying to study how it will sell, so they won't be losing as much money, so they're sending accurate amounts to these countries. I really don't know, but in the US it was released in December, and then in December we in Europe we got the option to pre-order her, even though it was not a pre-order in the US. And then in the pre-order they said it might ship around the first or second week of January. just to give you like I don't know, a date. And then I was thinking, okay, so I actually went straight to the pre-order because I thought, I don't know, that was so weird because the other three were released just normal and they have not yet sold out as such. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're preventing shipping the dolls to these countries in which they might feel they won't sell, and but they could sell still in the US, so they're not planning to, or other parts of the world, Japan, or like any other place, and so they are just shipping out the ones that they are certain. And in fact, I think that's what happened. I pre-ordered her, so she shipped just a few days ago, but then it was released I believe a couple of days ago, and then it sold out immediately. Like, I think that the reason it sold out is because there were just like a few pieces, and it sold out in all the countries within the European Union sites of Shop Disney, but the UK, for whatever reason, in the UK didn't sell out as quickly, or I don't think it has. I don't know as for now. Um, but then we have to remember, the UK is part of Europe, but not part of the European Union anymore. So even if there are like pieces in the UK, the UK site does not ship to any country in Europe, even though it can ship to Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. It does not ship to any other country. So it doesn't help that there are pieces in the UK. I don't know, it's just been so crazy and a little bit of a catastrophe, similar to that that we experienced with the Castle collection, which is a pity. Anyway, so here we have the box that has like an ombre effect from dark to light. In the middle we have algae, and we also have like shell motifs, like again keeping consistency with the previous releases. And one thing I'm actually very surprised is that the release number is actually higher than the previous princess dolls, but there still it sold out within seconds. And again, that is poor management. That is what it is, because again, if it's still available in the US, it's because there are definitely a lot of dolls, but they're not distributed evenly. So that is just like so crazy, you guys. And I really hope that, okay, this happened with Ariel. I really hope that they are working on that in a way that they can guarantee, because the thing, as it sold out in Europe, believe it or not, I've seen people trying to resell her for stupid amounts, like seriously, like super high amounts, because I know that there are people who really want her, and once again, I was very sad about that. But anyway, that is why I'm very grateful to have her here and to share this review with you, and that is why I didn't want to wait anymore. So this is the front part. Obviously it opens, it has like the magnets, and then we have the pieces of information. I'm going to show you the outer part of the box first. Right over here we can see it's like green mixed up with aqua color, I would say, but more green than anything. Then over here we can read Ariel. Right on the top we can have a sneak peek at the inside, and gorgeous Ariel. And then, okay, I hope she does not fall. So I'm going to be reading here. There is Ashley Lozada, that is the designer behind her. So far, I think that the 4 designers have done an amazing job. Again, You can love it or hate it, but nevertheless, it's an amazing interpretation, and I'm really happy we're getting these new designs. Remember, this is the Disney Ultimate Princess Celebration, and it's a designer collection, so we cannot expect fairy tale things. And the thing that is also consistent is that all the releases have leave us collectors so in awe, I guess, when the first images were released, as completely unexpected. It's like a surprise. It's like we cannot get ahead, um, or we cannot get what we'll be getting, other than just being surprised when they're released, because they're truly unique, and that is why I particularly like these designer collections so much. So I will read the part in English and then I will proceed with the unboxing. Well, here we go. As always, it's a bit difficult because the thing is, like, the background has this ombre effect, and then the letters are also like a light color, and they're very small. But anyway, I will try. I will do my best. So Disney Ultimate Princess Celebration, Ashley Lozada, and then it continues with a paragraph that I've just noticed that is exactly the same for every princess box. I'm going to read it anyway now, and then it tells a bit about the inspiration for Ashley, as well as, you know, personal stuff that I think it's quite helpful to embrace, to help embracing the doll better. So Disney Designer Collection is proud to introduce the Ultimate Princess Celebration, a limited edition monthly series carefully crafted by artists across the Walt Disney Company. Each doll celebrates a Disney princess and a designer inspired by our heroine's story. This one-of-a-kind collection is destined to be a keepsake for fans and collectors alike. Ashley Lozada was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and moved to Los Angeles to follow her dream of working for the Walt Disney Company. With a natural passion for art and design, she has now spent 9 years providing creative design and direction across many merchandise categories. And it's this passion for her work that gave way to designing this gorgeous Disney Princess Ariel doll, a heroine that Ashley and her sister bonded with when they were little girls. Growing up in the Caribbean, Ashley connected with the bright colors from The Little Mermaid and the beautiful seascape. Every weekend, she and her sister would spend endless hours at the beach, taking turns playing Ariel and Flounder and singing along to all the beautiful songs. That is incredibly cute. The many values in The Little Mermaid also resonated with Ashley, such as celebrating a strong bond with family and a desire to explore something more beyond the world in which they grew up. Princess Ariel's fearlessness and relentless pursuit of her dreams encouraged Ashley to follow her own. Moving to America alone, Ashley took the plunge to make her dreams come true at the Walt Disney Company. So that is very cool because it connects the inspiration and the how it the Little Mermaid, as a, you know, as a thing, resonated with Ashley in particular, who has been the one given the chance to design, with her unique perspective, this doll we are reviewing today. So it's pretty cool that we're getting a little bit more of an insight for that. So now I will show you how she looks inside the box, with the window displaying everything, and then I will proceed taking her out. And here we have her, and oh my goodness, she could not be more beautiful. She's absolutely breathtaking. I mean, this doll is incredible in person, and having her this close and everything, I'm falling in love even more than I thought I would be before getting her. Like the promotional pictures were not as I don't know, as incredible, I think, as having her here with me. Even though the video was pretty cool, just showing the sparkly produced by the gems that she has on the outer skirt, but she's just so like literally breathtaking, at least to me. And I think that makes justice to Ariel, because in my opinion, I actually see her there are like a lot of references to mermaids that I will be pointing out, and and I have not seen many people say this about them. But to me it kind of makes a lot of sense. But in general, I see her as a sea goddess, which I think is like the best portrayal we could get for Ariel as for now, for this ultimate celebration release. Really, I mean, she's a sea goddess and she looks amazing. And then the background is just so beautiful as well. I mean, there are like the little stars that have like sand color that goes incredibly well with the shore part of the sea line. And then there's Eric's palace right over there that is just so beautiful, and the printing of the sea, the very shallow waters that are very transparent, and that I don't know, I mean, it's just so beautiful. And the grading of the colors on her dress, everything is just like seriously amazing. So right over here we have this card that we find with the picture of Ashley and the picture of like the background with Eric's palace. And then right over here we have the shoes, or the design of the shoes, which to me, I know there is like a lot of people have said that this was making them think about wings, but to me, I mean, it could. I mean, it certainly could. But to me, they look like fins. And it isn't like so crazy at the end of the day, because we're having a mermaid here, and the where they've placed these formations, it's just on both sides of her head, and then on the shoes, and then on the back of her, like on the at the bottom of her back. So to me, they just make me think about fins in general, and it is exactly the same points in which a sea creature would have fins, that is in both sides of the head, on the tail, and sometimes in the mid part of the body. So anyway, it isn't so crazy, and it also gives that sort of like sophisticated ancient goddess look to it. So there's a little bit of everything there. Then the window display, it's very beautiful. It has like the shell pattern in a brocade in gold that contrasts with the black or very dark color of the box. Then we can read Disney Designer Collection right over there. And here, oops, here we have the limitation number. So again, a lot of them, but really not very nicely distributed, apparently, as the little fiasco that was produced in Europe as for now. Hopefully it will get back in stock and everyone could get her without going through the crazy people who selling her for stupid amounts. Anyway, so this is her. And now, as much as I love how she displays, like the way she's placed in the box, I'm going to take her out, and that way we will be having a closer look at everything around her and appreciate how beautiful she is. So I'll be back in no time. Well, and here we have beautiful Ariel, completely free from the package. And seriously, whoever says this doll is ugly, seriously must be blind, because I'm not biased or anything, because I'm not particularly attached to Ariel by any means, but I can step back and look at it as any other doll creation, and I can tell you, like, in a very objective manner, that she's so pretty. She really is pretty, whether you like the fashion or not, the shimmer on her skin or not, the hairstyle, the baby hair, the hat, a plague or whatever. um Regardless, this song is just so beautiful, at least to me. It really is beautiful, and I want to show you first how beautiful the background is as well, with Aries castle in the background, the shape, the shoreline. The two steps here are actually like sand color, and it goes really really well with the beginning of like the water that I mean, you cannot skip like the parts in which the plastic has been, but I don't think it distracts as much, even though I've been incredibly careful to not damage the box. But it's very beautiful. The color of the water is just very realistic. You can see the reflection of that part of the castle there, and you can see how it gets more translucent and shallow around the shoreline. It's very beautiful. So it's a plus for these boxes. The only bit is that, again, if you're displaying it without the outer part, this is open, but again, nothing that laminated bit of acetate plastic could not sort out. And now moving into Ariel. She's so cute. I love her hair. Her hair is just all pushed to one of the sides in these like curls that, to my surprise, are really soft and bouncy. I mean, you can see uh, you can see how bouncy they are and how really soft, because I would expect a lot of gel, but the gel they've used, it's like semi hard. I mean, it isn't like hard as to the point to leave the curls crusty, and that is a plus. I love it. I think she looks absolutely stunning as, again, Ariel and sea goddess, and a reinterpretation of this character. Then we move to, well, the color is just amazing. It's very deep, it's very vibrant, it has a shimmer to it as well. And then she has like this face sculpt that I think is the same sculpt as the one that they used for the designer fairy tale villain um display with Ursula. And funny enough, I mean, I think that that doll also had the pearly sort of like shimmery finish to the skin, which I don't hate at all. I think it really, I mean, it adds to the feeling of her being a goddess in a way, because it's like her skin is like shining from within. Plus, I mean, it kind of makes sense at all. I mean, at all, totally. Um, by assuming that, again, she's like a sea creature, so there must be like water around, and humidity of some sort. So I don't see it as oily or greasy, but rather as, again, a pearly shimmery effect, which I think it works for Ariel. I don't think I would like it in the previous other princesses, because it wouldn't fit as much. I'm not sure like for the future ones. I can only say for the ones that I've seen and and I have experienced. But for Ariel it works. Now the baby hairs around her forehead are really a fit as well for this. Like, there's like people who have felt so offended by hair having baby hair, well, baby hair, I don't know if it's like baby hair or just like wet, sort of like incipient first line hair that is shorter, and that with the humidity it would naturally curl and show as stuck to the like that happens to any other human in the planet. Like, it doesn't matter what is your hair type, style, ethnicity, background, whatever. If you get wet and you have different lengths of hair, um I can guarantee you that that would sort of like happen. Um, so I don't see it so crazy on Ariel at all. And I think, like, seriously, I mean, people, I don't know, should just like don't take things as personal, because I don't think these factors or like these, you know, um, these patterns that we can appreciate in these dolls have anything to do with you in particular, with the people. It isn't personal. Like Ashley Lozada, or I think she's called Ashley Lozada, was not thinking of you. She was not thinking about making a statement. She was just thinking about creating this doll. So yeah, I mean, the least that we can do is like respect her work, and by respecting, we should prevent being truly, damaging, which some people can be like in those terms. Anyway, that's fine. To me, I love the hair. I mean, yeah, it could have been like texture to help a bit with the look of it, but to be honest, I mean, it looks so cool and so fitting for her. So I don't think she looks bad at all. And yeah, yeah, she looks so pretty. I also like how she's looking forward. That so many people complained about it as well. Like, because we associate designer looks with like looking to the side or over your shoulder or something, but it doesn't have to. um and I think she looks pretty cool. We have so many dolls of Ariel looking to the side, and her looking straight forward and confident, and just straight to the collector. I think it's pretty cool, and she looks very beautiful. And then another thing I wanted to say about the baby hair, or actually wet hair, which I think is what it is in my opinion, um is that I don't know. I mean, I can that makes me think as well. I mean, in my experience, that again, I cannot be very determinist, because I'm pretty sure that the very same thing, as I don't see it as very unique to someone at all, but rather something very common. It could have been used as a cultural thing, and I relate it, for example, to the aesthetics of the old-time classic look of flamenco dancers and singers, like especially from like way back into the 20th century. Um, there was an aesthetic associated with that, and definitely this sort of way of arranging the hair was one of them. Now, I don't think the that last Ashley Lozada has try to get appropriation of that, for example, and I'm just putting an example there. I don't think so. And you can see that sort of aesthetic with like Rosalia, that she's arranged her hair in a similar manner for a lot of her live performances, and she used it that way as an aesthetic pattern. But again, in this case, I truly believe it's just wet hair, that again is just so fitting for her. I also love that for in this case they have chosen a reddish color for the eyebrows, which I believe is the first time they've done that, because they usually give her light brown or medium brown eyebrows, but this time, okay, I'm going to get closer so we can appreciate that. And then there are actually like streaks, like a pattern of hair, which also adds to the realism. And then the makeup, the makeup is just so cool as well. Like okay, it's, I really have to get very close so you can appreciate it, but there are like painted uh lower lashes as well as upper lashes, and then there's like a pattern of fish scales, I would say, as it's like the same in both sides. Let's see, are you picking it? I think so. There's like a silver sort of like eyeshadow, and then there is like this pattern that is just so cool. I don't know. And then she has super deep red lips and very white teeth, and she's smiling, and seriously, she looks so beautiful. I'm gonna step forward like this, and we're going to have a look at the beautiful dress she's wearing. Now, the dress I had to experience in person because I thought it would feel so much softer, but in reality, this part around here that is like tulle, it's much rougher than we normally associate with the looks of it, and that is why I believe we associate it more with organza. I think this is like straight tulle, and like here I can see that this is not the same. I mean, this is organza, so it's softer, or is it? No, I mean, it could be tulle, but I think it's a softer type. It's definitely so much softer than this one around here. It's just rougher, which also makes me think, and also like the pattern of the tulle. I mean, if we get close like to these scales that would expect from mermaids, like, yeah, that sort of like rough, scaly, if that is a word, feel to it, as well as with the sequence that are like underneath this layer of like tulle, because the tulle goes all the way around the dress, um but there are like um different complexities, whatever you like. I think it's, I mean, this dress might look simple to some, but I think it's a rather complex one, because I think that what the designer has tried to reflect on it and show for this Ariel is much more complex than we could ever think. Like, for example, there is like what I just said, and also like the thing about seeing but not seeing the legs. I think that plays a lot with the two sides of Ariel. Then she plays a lot with how the bra, that it's a piece of plastic that is underneath this piece around here, is appreciated when you put like a layer of this tool over. I think it completely changes the texture, which I think is a rather complex sort of like take to experimenting with it. And also like the sequence, this is not the first time we've seen it. We've seen it as well with the newer 50th celebration, 50th Walt Disney World Cinderella celebration limited edition doll. There is like a layer of sequence, and then over that there is like the tool, which makes it feel different. It's just not like the same sequence pattern that we could associate with the tail of Ariel, as like we've normally seen before in the past. It's like a different take, and this designer has played with the textures of the fabrics, which I think is pretty clever. Like, for example, like for this sort of like back piece around here, that we can only appreciate like this side, because but it in reality it has like symmetry to it. It goes all around, all the way, but as her hair is just pushed to this side, we cannot see it as much here. I mean, I think that references like the splash of water from that moment of Pearl, part of your world reprise. And I think it also relates, it doesn't just relate to that. I mean, I just try to think about all the possible things that come into my mind every time I look at these pieces and fashion in general. It makes me think of the carnival queens from, like, for example, from Rio, in Brazil. They have like some sort of like a plaque on the back that is very similar to that one, and that doesn't relate to a splash of water, but it's used as a carnival sort of like pattern for like the parades. And I don't know, actually being from Venezuela, and probably, I don't know, I mean, there might be a lot of like things inspired here, who knows, but I can see many things, and I'm not like determinist into just linked it to one thing and that's it. I think it might be, well, we should be more open to things, because you cannot just yeah, close it down to one option, whatever it is. But anyway, so that's that, and I think that is very, very cute as well, because she's played with the ruffled fabric that is like in very pale shade of blue, and then there is a layer of organza or tulle that is softer with the rhinestones, that looks like so beautiful. By the way, the rhinestones, you have to be careful, because obviously they're just applied to the tulle, and then if you and then the tool is actually pleated, and there are plastic ties that I have not taken from the dress. I have just only taken like a few ties here, because I thought, and you can see that the beads have moved slightly, but because it was just like I wanted to naturally flow, but in reality these pearls are actually attached to these two sides, which I have not taken yet. I might in the future. I think I want to undress her and try other things in this beautiful on this beautiful doll, because as a sculpt on its own, I think is rather unique and very beautiful. So I will definitely be doing that in the future. So yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, the rhinestones, you have to be careful. These are not embroidered pieces or anything like that, so they can be they can fall if you're like not as careful, which I don't think is a massive problem, because these would be easily replaceable and put back there, I would say. I love the ombre effect, the gradient sort of like change of color, which also like makes me think of like the change of the color of the water, for example, from deeper to shallow, and also like the sunset and the dusk. It kind of relates to that. It's pinkish at its hottest color, um pinkish orangey, corally. So I mean, that fits perfectly. And then it goes to a colder sort of like gradient of color in bluish, greenish sort of like tones. um and the rhinestones actually make me think of bubbles, like from the water, it just makes me think of that. So anyway, this is what we can see in the front. I also love the little bag, well, little, the bag that she was given. It's like this massive shell that is quite heavy actually, and has the pearly finish, same as for like the hair piece, the pearls, and the shoes that we're going to see now. I just wanted to show you a little bit more of how the head applique looks when you're getting close to the doll. So I can see like a seahorse pattern, and then like a beading hairband connecting one side to the other, which I think is in terms of aesthetic, it's how it's been designed. But also, again, it could relate to things that are just like around the place where they would emerge, I think. And I don't think she looks weird at all. If anything, it kind of frames her look a little more. Even though, I mean, this doll is going to look amazing without it as well, because again, that's why I say the doll is very beautiful on its own. but for this interpretation, I think it kind of adds to it in a way, and that is like the finishing touch that makes me think of her as a sea goddess. um then the dress has like an inner skirt of with two layers and sequins underneath, and it's kind of so short, but I don't think it's like the shortest I've seen on a Disney princess. I think that the ballerina outfits are actually this short or around, so it's not as scandalous as as it is for people. And I think that what the designer wanted to show is like, again, the two sides of Ariel this way. I think it looks very beautiful. I I would normally have liked a softer fabric, but I also understand that as it doesn't have a lot of support from within, like having other layers, it will clash and it won't keep like the shape. So I understand why they've used a rafa sort of like tool. Um, but anyway, that's that. And now I'm going to show you the back of it, in which we can appreciate the the back piece, that there is like the shell in the heart of the sculpt, and then there are like these spikes, and again that makes me think of a wing, or yeah, like well, what I associate with like fish, when and they use like for movement, and but also like as a fashion piece as well. So, and then that adds to the whole sort of like splash moment. There's just so many things here. So actually there are like two layers of tulle or organza. There's this one around here, this one here with the rhinestones, and then the other two layers of these pleated very stiff fabric too, that has to be that way for it to keep that shape. And then there is this trail to it that is pretty long. I mean, it was like tied like this into in the box, but it looks pretty cool. And here you can also like see the legs, and then the pattern continues in the back. It's pointy, and yeah, so there we can see the new stands that are part of this collection, and like the golden carpet moment. And now I'm going to show you the shoes, which I also like very much, and I think Ashley does too, because it was a part of the design of the postcard that came with the doll. So here we can see the shoes. I love that we're getting like new molds. They both have like a pearly shimmering to them as well, and then on both sides we can find a pattern that, again, it's similar to the one, oops, sorry, I don't want her to fall. The pattern, it's exactly the same pattern as the applique on the back, as you can see. I think I will be taking those elastics off, because they're going to permanent cause like a permanent sort of like damage to these soft legs. But the shoes are really cool. I love them. And then the heels, they make me think of Tinkerbell a little bit because of like the front pearl. But I think again it's super fitting for Ariel. And now I'm going to show you how the the pedestal sort of like stand looks from like the base. We can see the signature of Ashley, and then the logo from the Disney Ultimate Princess Celebration and the Disney Designer Collection. It's just so cool. It actually makes the doll look a little taller because of the two sort of like, because it's actually higher than any other stand we've seen before for the Disney princesses. So anyway, here's Ariel. I love her so much. I'm so happy I got her. I'm so happy to be sharing her with all of you, and I hope that this review has been helpful and also nice to watch, and just knowing what I feel about it and what makes me think of and all that. I don't know, sharing like the passion for these dolls and how they can be perceived from different collectors, different moments, different context. I think help us all in a way. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give me a like, as well as well, stay tuned for the upcoming videos. I'm going to share so much more from this line and so many others. So I hope I'll see you around. For now, stay safe, and see you very soon. Bye bye.